Hello everyone, this is a Hollywood recapped. Today I'll introduce you to a movie called A Man Named Ovi Decided to Die. This movie has cured many lonely people. If you are disappointed with life, I suggest you watch this movie. This old man is committing suicide. He put on a handsome suit, put on his skincare products, and hung up the rope loop. He is about to kick the chair away when he heard someone making a noise outside the house. When he look outside, someone is driving a car. He get angry and scold people. It's not allowed to drive here. The opposite is a new neighbor who doesn't understand the rules. The old man have to help direct the car, but the driver is so stupid that he hit the letterbox again. The old man have to help him drive, back up the car and leave. Going back to the house and continuing to commit suicide, he put on the rope again, but the neighbors gather at the window, and the little girl run to the window to watch. He quickly put away the rope, for fear of scaring the child, and the suicide plan would fail again. The male protagonist is this stinky old man Ove. His favorite wife passed away a few months ago. He was recently fired by the company. There is no hope in life, so he wants to die. He is a typical Nordic man with a cold and bad temper. When people say hello to him, he will say stop arguing. The next day Ove is more cautious. He closed the curtains and put his head in the loop again. The next second, Ove wanted to ignore the doorbell, but the doorbell keeps ringing. He opened the door furiously. Is a child. He have to put away the swear words he is about to say. The children's parents also appear. New neighbors bring him food and borrow a ladder. Ove have to lend it to him impatiently. At this time, the old woman on the opposite side come to him to help fix the heating. Seems like everyone's trying to stop him from killing himself. Ove's angry. Ove come home and look at his wife's picture sadly. He make up his mind and hangs the rope again. This time he finally succeeded. He begin to enter memory. Since childhood, Ove lost his mother at a very young age and could only rely on his father. Dad doesn't talk much. One day, Ove was standing on the tracks and a train came behind him. Dad was screaming. When Ove walked away, Dad hugged him for the first time. Hug for a long time. Some men's love is hidden in their hearts. A few years later, when Ove grew up, he showed his report card to his father. Dad was so happy, showing off his report card, until he was hit by a train. Life is a joke and later Ove is played by fate. An officer burned down Ove's house because he wouldn't move. Ove was homeless and had to work on the railway, slept in the train every day. Unexpectedly, at the low point in his life, he met the most beautiful thing in his life, a woman. She weared red high heels, red lips, blue eyes, full of energy. She always shows a little front teeth and smiles like an angel. She paid for his ticket and gave him his bag when he got off the train. She kept looking at him. Ove is emotionally sluggish, but he also knows he's in love with her. He started taking this train on time every day. After 3 weeks he finally saw him again. His first date with her, not flirting at all. Either be silent or talk about cars. The girl asked Ove why he didn't order anything for himself to eat. Ove said he ate at home. It turned out that he was too poor to pay for one person's meals. He confessed that his house was burned down with nothing. Next, he feels inferior and plans to leave. The girl suddenly kissed him. Ove understood that God has sent him an angel. Back in reality, this time his rope broken and he doesn't die, and Ove decide to die in a different way. He go to the old woman's house across the street to get the water pipe and help him fix the heating by the way. There's an old man with a stroke at his house who is his old friend. Ove speak to his old friend while no one is there. There is nothing to cherish in this world. Fortunately, Ove will soon pass away forever. Then the old woman come back and tell him her husband couldn't move, but he know everything. Ove is stunned and is about to leave, but his old friend take hold of his tube. This is the retention of a paralyzed person, very heartwarming. Ove ignore him, he go home and start his 5th suicide. The 5th suicide is with car exhaust, and Ove whistling, believing it is an absolute success, because it is his garage that is undisturbed. Ove close his eyes again, but after a while someone is filming his garage. Ove rush out angrily. It turned out that the neighbor's husband fell and was injured. She come to beg Ove to take her and her 2 daughters to the hospital. Ove have to agree, and the suicide fail again. At the hospital, the woman goes in alone to take care of the patient and asks Ove to help with her 2 daughters. Ove have to promise the woman. Ove reluctantly tell the girls a story, which make the girls laugh. After returning home, Ove originally want to leave coldly, but the little girl thank him for his company and come to hug him. It is really heartwarming. Ove failed to commit suicide today. Next time, Ove learns his lesson and switches the suicide location to the train platform. The train is coming, but he doesn't expect someone to move faster than him. Ove was stunned, looked at the people around him with indifference, and even some people icing their mobile phones to take videos. He couldn't stand it anymore, so he rushed over and rescued the man. The train is getting closer and closer, and Ove walks to the middle of the tracks. It's time to leave the world, but then he suddenly sees himself as a child. He remembers his father, who taught him to stay away from trains, but his father died the same way. At the last minute, Ove reached out and the suicide plan failed again. One day Ove came home and saw a woman with a dog throwing stones at a stray cat. He yelled at her, "If you throw it again, I'll kill your dog." The dog starts barking. He barked back. Woman kick out. Ove scold the cat too, but when he get home, he couldn't bear to make something for the cat to eat. But the cat is gone. A few days later, the stray cat hides at his door again. Ove and the neighbors bring the cat in because the neighbor's daughter was allergic to cats, and he is the only one who could take it in. As a result, Ove not only did not die, but also have a cat. He come to his wife's grave and says he have another burden, and he would get rid of it as soon as possible and come to you. But the reality is that he walks around with the cat every day, and when he gets home, he makes something delicious for the cat. This day, he see that the neighbor's husband teach his wife to drive badly and volunteer to teach his wife. On the street, someone honky her horn frantically and make her cry, and Ove jump out of the car and scold the driver behind. Later, the woman go out and ask Ove to help him with the child. Ove wander around the house and hear the daughters say that dad can't install a dishwasher, and secretly help them install the dishwasher. In the night the cat also sleep next to Ove, and is very close to him. With these bonds, Ove seems to have hope for life. Until this day the neighbors advise him not to live in the past forever. Before Ove could get angry, he meet the white shirt that always provokes him. This person is a small official who has been taking advantage of his position for personal gain and treating others poorly. What he said to Ove was even worse. "You used to be an annoying bastard. Your wife died and you became a lunatic." Everyone comment on Ove's pain. Ove break down. He rush into the house and shut himself up. 7th suicide, Ove decides to use a shotgun. Ove just get his gun out and the cat is watching him. He have to turn on the radio so that the cat wouldn't be frightened, and he seal his room with a transparent film so the cat wouldn't come and get blood on it. He point the shotgun to his chin and then to his forehead. Ove get angry again and rush out with a gun. Standing at the door is his wife's student. He beg Ove to take in his friend who was kicked out by his family. Ove scolded him, but took him in again. The next day, the young man make him breakfast, and he make food for the cat. It is the first time Ove have breakfast with people in half a year. He start patrolling, the young man is going with him and also the cat. Halfway through, another young man follow and Ove's team is slowly growing. Ove learned from a young man that his old friend is now forced to be sent to a nursing home after a stroke, because some nursing homes in Europe rely on patients to defraud funds. Ove is angry. Although he has had a conflict with his old friend, he can't let his old friend be bullied. He decided to help. He started calling all kinds of phone numbers and writing all kinds of letters, but to no avail. Ove is so powerless, he almost give up. Then the neighbors say to him, "Why you don't want to ask someone to help you? No one can bear everything alone, just like you can't bear the pain of your wife's death alone." Ove bow his head when he hear it. For the first time, he was going to tell the most painful memory. They went on a trip together that year to celebrate their wife's pregnancy, but they were in a car accident on the way home. He rescued his wife, but the child was gone. His wife can't stand up anymore, but she's very strong. She started studying hard, hoping to be a teacher. At that time, Ove was very angry that the school didn't hire disabled people. He defended his rights everywhere and fought against injustice until he finally solved the problem on his own. Wife became a teacher and was assigned to the worst class. But she is really a good teacher, nurturing countless troubled teenagers into promising young people. She is an angel. An angel with paralyzed legs has unleashed more power to heal more and more people. Then she fell ill and died, and Ove was alone. Now, with the memory of her, old Ove is back on his feet, and he decides to fight as hard as he did when he was young. The sanatorium come the next day, but just as they are smug, a female reporter come out of the house. Ove invited her. She tell the nursing home that she have evidence of his corruption. The white shirt finally give up. This time Ove won, not by himself, but by friends. He has a new bond with the world. He no longer commits suicide. Not long after, the neighbor's fourth baby is born, and Ove hold the baby like a grandpa. His life's regret is that he has no children, but now every child can be his child. One day, the neighbors found that Ove doesn't show up at the door to sweep the snow. They rush into Ove's house and find him dead in the bed. Ove finally get his wish and passed away, but it is natural. He used to be a lonely old man, but today the church is full of people. People come to give him his last companion. Ove's life ended no longer for himself, but for others, but it was these bonds that gave him joy. It is these fetters that connect to the meaning of life.